Usually I do a stock of the day, but I want to go a bit broader today because the Prime Minister at a business summit, at the Financial Review's business summit today, has outlined areas vital to the nation's interests that we need for security reasons to bring onshore the manufacturing and build production here to safeguard the economy. Semiconductors, agricultural chemicals, water treatment, telecommunications, plastics, pharmaceuticals, and personal protective equipment. Now, Scott Phillips, you can start like Incitec, some of our healthcare companies that are out there, everything from CSL through to ResMed and Cochlear. Do you take this, what the Prime Minister's saying, as sort of an early indication of to start looking at some of these areas more seriously, or do you just wait until it's more than just words, that there's some action?
Gosh, you've taken, speaking of those words, right out of my mouth, because look, start looking, yes, but as you rightly kind of alluded to, I won't put words in your mouth, but suffice it to say there's an election campaign coming up, and a government that's trying to run on national security might just want to make sure that the rest of us who are voting look, it's of interest. I do think the globalization trend is going, if not into reverse, at least into a bit of a neutral phase. And there is some sense, a little bit of sense in building some of this stuff onshore. There's a whole lot of political sense, of course, in flying the flag and saying we will do things, we will make things, of course, as Donald Trump famously said and got elected doing so. So look, I think it's rhetoric for now. It's worth having a look at. You mentioned some great companies, Ansell, another one, of course. Plenty of potential investments if those things come to pass. That's a really, really big if, particularly this side of an election campaign. When there's money actually committed to it, when the when the first sod is turned, as they say, then it's probably time to start looking. But a little bit like CSL trying to come up with a vaccine for COVID back in the day. It feels like a long time ago, but it wasn't that long ago. With the University of Queensland, not quite coming to anything. Others, we'll talk about one company in the PPE space as well today. So not yet, no. I think it's worth being mindful of. It's absolutely worth making yourself aware of which companies might do it, where they might do it, what they might be worth, but I wouldn't be committing money yet, no. Okay,
so a bit early. Chris, what's your view? Because sort of I'm old enough to to remember when the government put restrictions, Chris, have we got you there? Put restrictions around particular industries for national security reasons, didn't they, Scott? That no one could come in. They got subsidies. And you look at, was it Russia produces something like 70% of the world's fertiliser? So Incitec and New Farm and groups like that should get a bit of a boost along. We got Chris back. Chris, is it too early for you?
Yeah, I think so. I caught the early part of what Scott was talking about there, and I agree that probably need to see some policies in place to drive money towards these areas, but also just quickly work the list. I mean, I know we only got the question about an hour or so ago, but there are limited spaces where you could use that idea, Koshi, that you've got of going after these investments. So there's nothing really in semis, agricultural chemicals. You guys were just talking about New Farm, the big one. Water treatment, there was nothing that sprung to mind. Plastics, the big one is Visy. It's a private company. You've got Pact Group, that's listed. And then pharma, there, of course, are some listed names, Star Pharma, Main, and Medical Development. So there are only a few ways to play it anyway in order to take advantage of the of what the Prime Minister was talking about. But certainly I think, you should start looking in that space.
Okay, so keep it on your radar, but a bit too early to do anything definitive about it. Okay, all right, that's really good advice. But it's interesting the thinking of the politicians at the moment on, where they're turning their attention to. So particularly with all what's happening in Europe at the moment, all the unsettledness there.